Oseo, peace, shalom, namaste, hotel, assalamu alaikum, alafia, mahalo, and all that other good stuff, man. I hope everybody feeling good for no reason at all. Radiating, vibrating, operating at your highest frequency possible. Hear me? With the L, love, that is. Man, it's wild how we can prepare. We know certain dates coming up. We know certain functions may be coming up. We know certain days may be coming up that hold significance to us in one way or another. Long story short, I was in that mode where I had been preparing for this date, February 1st, because it has a personal connection to me. I say that to say, honor to our mothers, salute to our mothers, salute to the feminine principle, salute to the feminine principle, salute to the feminine principle throughout the cosmos, because without them, we couldn't be here, February 1st was the day of my mother's birth, which I also consider the day of my birth before my birth. If you don't listen, you're gonna miss it. But honor to our mothers, honor to those who have transitioned and traveled on from this earthly realm. Yeah, man, it's a lightness in the heaviness. Once understanding becomes understanding, and that understanding becomes an overstanding. It's a lightness in the heaviness. You hear me? I miss my mom on this earthly plane. You hear me? But now in my overstanding, I wouldn't want her to come back and do this again unless she had to come back, unless she came back and do it on a way higher plane and in an ease of living than I chose her for my incarnation. If we don't listen, we gonna miss it, cause we chose whether we connect ourselves to it or not. But it's a beautiful thing to comprehend the journey. That don't make it easier. It make it more humorous. It make it more humorous, but it don't make it more easier, cause we still got to be here amongst those who still doing the inner climb, and I emphasize the inner climb, in this external realm. You heard? And I say that to say, it's easy to say, cause we're in a quote unquote new year, It's easy to say, cause we're in a new year, that it's a new us that we dealing with, But how real is that if the change didn't occur on the inside? How true is that? It's transformation having occurred on the inside. Because it's easy to say new year, new me, and I point this out because those of us who make who in the New Year resolutions. Personally, I'm not. Every day, I'm striving to be better than I never been. In some form or fashion. But it was a message in that. You see, because we a money in a 2026. So by now, many of us who wasn't true to the script that we would like to be seen playing. We 30 days in, we'll hold money in. We're in a new month now. So things are telling. It's telling. You know? Because I said it again and I was led to reiterate it back. I got a lot of downloads sitting in front of me. Our mind and our spirit is just as important as our goals. So the more spiritual people, you see, biggest test was finding harmony and balance and how to live in this material realm. The more materialistic people, biggest test was how to bring in and become a more spiritualized being in their external reality. So we all got to learn from each other, long story short. We all got to learn from each other. But our mind and our spirit is just important as our goals. And depending on what our goals was, they showing us something about ourselves. They showing us something in ourselves. They showing us something for ourselves. Cause ain't nothing happening to us. It's happening through us. And we got way more control, you see, than some of us was aware of, that we now are aware of. We got way more control that some of us have chose to believe, because we chose to believe that we have limits where we have chose to limit ourselves, you see, and some just the some, you hear me? But I say that to say the inner is more important than the outer. Yet both require balance. Both require balance. Because I'm going to say it again. You don't want to be around nobody who ain't did any self-work. We don't want to be around anyone who hasn't did any self-work. And we already know who doing the self-work by how the self-work that we're doing has affected those that's not doing the self-work. You know, and that don't apply for everybody, you know, because we do things on different levels. But we know where chords may be needed according to the type of red flags, according to the type of flare-ups, according to the type of outbursts, according to, you know, those cycles that a lot of us got familiar with, you know, and a lot of us got used to, and through this and through the familiarity and through the getting used to, you know, we was given, whether we know it or not, whether we conscious of it or not, we was given opportunities to make choices, you see, whether we was going to remain or whether we was going to remove, or whether we was going to, you know, move beyond it. Even if we were still around the same people, even if we were still in the same places, even if we were still in the same environments, you know, even if we were still in the same communities, you see, you can still be around the same things and not be a part of the same thing if you're not able to remove yourself from those same things. All it requires is a mental shift message, you see. Because we don't want to be caught up in what nobody else got coming if it ain't what you've been working towards by what you've been doing in yourself, you see. Because we all got karma or dharma, or, you know, something to reap according to what we have been sold, you see. So for the work that's been done in 2025. If we didn't see changes, prior to 2026, to some degree or another, we definitely seeing them now. You see, and for those who didn't make no change in 2025, we definitely seeing it now. You see, and more so, those who that apply, or those where it apply, hopefully has an opportunity, use this opportunity to see themselves a little bit more clear, because it ain't no way or no reason that we shouldn't be able to. You hear me? There ain't no way or no reason that we shouldn't be able to. But salute to us who have courage, who have courage, and who have caused karma to be reversed according to the shadow work that we have done within ourselves, according to us making it a mission to do the shadow work. See, because it's a choice, you see. So I salute us for even making the choice, you see, to want to change patterns, to want to break generational curses, and turn them into a gift, through the message, through the healing, through the wholeness, that as we become, because karma is on a mission to show us what we've been creating, not outside ourselves, but within ourselves, according to what's happening outside ourselves, according to what's appearing, you see, according to how we appearing, and not just how we appearing, but how we been appearing from the inside. See, so everybody getting to see it, tables being turned in certain places, and rightfully so. See, the hourglass turned both ways. You feel me? So the table being turned in the physical to reveal what already occurred in the realm of the spirit. I repeat, tables are being turned in the physical to reveal what has already occurred in the realm of the spirit. Regardless of what we call it. Chi, Ashe, life force, prana, source, it's all the same, and it operates through character, not appearance. So if we thought we'd been fooling anybody, I'm sure we know by now we ain't been fooling nobody, and I point that out because for those of us who did the show, for those of us who started our process last year, see, because I told us we're going to hear a lot of people in 2026 screaming shadow work like it's something, like it's a new wagon to be on. And we looking at them like, man, where y'all been at? Because we've been doing this in 2025. We've been doing this in 2024. You see? And the term shadow work got way more popular in 2025 than it was in 2024. And some of us been doing it in 2023. Some of us been doing it since C19. Check. See? so all us ain't in the same place, but we can learn something from one another. See, but that's the choice too. You see, but we went all in through oneself. We locked in through oneself. We dialed in through oneself. You see, we did a lot of inventory, for the reinvention. We did a lot of re-inventory for the reinvention. We had to do more re-inventory, for the invention, and a lot of analyzation, a lot of sifting and sorting, a lot of sitting with and confronting, and a lot of listening to, You see? Cause in the relationship that we have with ourselves, we can't do all the talking to ourselves. We got to be able to listen to ourselves, talk back to us too. Check. If you don't listen, you're gonna miss it. Walk with me. You see? And it's a beautiful process because we wasn't meant to solve our entire life overnight, or we would have been dead. You see? So it's a beautiful thing in this remembering. It's a beautiful thing in this remembering, you know. And the most beautiful thing about it is the power of choice. The power of choice. You know, we get to choose. Nobody get to choose for us. And even and according to the growing process that we have to come here and go through, yeah, those people do get to choose for us, you know, as long as time allots that they get to choose for us. But, you know, when we out the house, then we choose for ourselves. And for most of us, in many cases, before we got out the house, we started choosing for ourselves. You know, those that we were still being raised up under just didn't know that we had, you know, started choosing for ourselves because, you know, under in-house, we under house rules. You hear me? But outside the house, a lot of us broke house rules, you know, to come into discovery and, you know, the contact with ourselves through the world as we was going to experience it through ourselves. You hear me? But it was a choice. And you chose to wake up. You chose to do the work. If you here, you chose to wake up. You chose to do the work. You know, you chose to face your shadow. You chose to be honest with your bullshit. You know, you chose to lay down old versions of yourself to rise into untapped versions of yourself. I won't call them new versions of ourselves. I just say untapped versions of ourselves. But we chose. For those of us that chose, you know, we chose to rise to something greater than we ever lived in this experience, you know. Everybody who made them choices didn't make them choices when everything was good. I want to repeat. Everybody who made those choices, everybody who chose to wake up, everybody who chose to do the work, everybody who chose to face their shadow, everybody who chose to be brutally honest with themselves. And it's not easy. You see? Everybody who made them choices didn't make them choices when everything was good. We came to them conclusions in moments of darkness. We came to them conclusions in moments of challenges. We came to them conclusions in the moment of great obstacles. We came to them conclusions in moments of tragic loss. You see, of loved ones, and, you know, all kind of forms. We came to them conclusions through some of the most trying times, man. We come to them conclusions when we're in the fire. not when we're above the cloud, not when everything good. No, we come to these conclusions in darkness and confusion during times that it felt like nothing was going right, and sometimes nothing to be right again, depending on how things hit us. I know. See, but don't go back to sleep. See, I know I can't go back to sleep. See, once you wake this thing up, like I have a conversation with my brother, you know, last week, you know, and certain things came up where I had to say exactly what I'm about to share without. Once you wake this thing up, try to put it back to sleep if you want to. See, for some of us, we don't got so, you know, the snow, you know, like a snowball effect. say that it get bigger and bigger like an avalanche. It get bigger and bigger. Once it start, it get bigger and bigger as it's coming downhill. You see, and you know, but we going uphill. See, within ourselves, we going uphill. Jack and Jill went up the hill to get a pail of water. See, we going uphill in ourselves. You see, and Jack ain't got time to fall down no more and break his crown. Because we know, according to the story, Jill gonna come tumbling after. See, so we got to keep Jack and Jill, see, masculine and feminine, you see, in balance within ourselves, regardless of what gender we appear on externally. You see, we got to keep that masculine and feminine within ourselves, whether you male or female, in balance. You see, and it's a choice. So we got to hold on for those who chose to wake up, for those who chose to do the work, for those who chose to face the shadow, for those who chose to be brutally honest with ourselves, for those who chose to lay down the old versions of ourselves because we know they weren't doing us no good. You see, we saw the cycles that they kept putting us in our different relationships. You know, from platonic to more personal. See, and everything in between. We saw. So if we see, we can't act like we didn't see. You know, once you see, you can't unsee. Once you know, you can't unknow. So what we gonna do with what we know? We can't go back to sleep. You see, because there's a lot of things about to take place, and it's got to take place when it comes to financial systems, when it comes to political systems, when it comes to religious systems, when it comes to educational systems, when it comes to health systems, when it comes to the human system, when it comes to humanity. See, the old must dissolve if the new going to take its place. So we're observing the great collapse of the old skin we shed internally. We're seeing the great collapse of the old skin we shed mentally. We're seeing the great collapse of the old skin we shed psychologically. You see, we seeing the old skins that we had to shed of the spiritual. We're seeing the old skin be shed systematically, not because of what's going on outside, but because of what's going on inside of humanity. See, we shedding skin, and as we shed skin through higher levels of overstanding to universal things, then systems must collapse. So we're observing the great collapse by what we're doing within ourselves for a spirit, for a spiritual and soul cycle upgrade. See, cycles. We're hearing things about cycles being closing, you know, so forth and so on different many levels, according to different time spans, you know, according to each individual spirit as soul that's here. You see, so our greatest war has been in the battlefield of our own mind. You know, our greatest battlefield has been in the battlefield of our own mind. So all versions of reality that no longer serve consciousness or the growth of consciousness. You know, all timelines based on fear or control through fear. All timelines based on separation. You know, all these type of ley lines walk with me. You see, all these type of energetic energetic portals walk with me, because that's what they are. You see, all these type of ley lines are collapsing, so ascension is the only option for those who are going to stay here. So we're not the only, we going through a purge because the earth is going through a purge. The earth is going through a purge because the world is going through a purge. The world is going through a purge because the universe is going through a purge. The universe is going through a purge because the cosmos is going through a purge. You see, and we're connected to it all. There ain't no separation. You see, in every kingdom, you know, that has something to do with life being here is going through a purge. It's going through a purification for its elevation, for its continued evolution. You see, so we're observing the great collapse. As within, so without. As above, so below. You see, ascension is the only option. I repeat, for those who gonna stay here. See, Earth just needed enough for us to vibrate, you know, on an octave where awakened consciousness can operate as normal patterns. So 144 hertz, you know, is a frequency, not a number of people. So those who propagate that on the chosen 144, man, go study again. 144 hertz is a frequency, and that come back to 9. You hear me? And we just left for 9 years. Walk with me. You see? So Earth needed enough for us to be operating on an octave where awakened consciousness can operate at a normal pattern, as a normal pattern in people through everyday life, and not just rare exceptions. So a lot of us been here a long time doing the work. A lot of us don't have, you know, a lot. This a few. It's some of us here that's this ain't our first rodeo. This ain't our second rodeo. This ain't our third rodeo. You know, we've been here. We've been here a few times. You know, continually coming back, bringing this. Certain vibrations, certain frequencies, you know, certain geometric codes, you know, spinning on our macabre, you know, in a world that don't understand what they seeing and don't see what they understanding. Walk with me. If you don't listen, you gonna miss it. You know, just so over time, everybody who was going to make that choice, everybody who was going to choose, and everybody who chose can reach that octave that was needed, where awakened consciousness is now operating as a normal pattern in our everyday life, and not just on rare exceptions. It don't woke up in enough for all of us where ain't no one particular, you know, person looking special, and you know, cause ain't nobody special. We all got it, but we gotta tap it in ourselves. We gotta do the work to tap it in ourselves. You see, so keep that in mind as 2026 proceed. You know, and welcome to the 0 zone. Because in the 0 zone, you're going to have to learn how to stay in the center. You see? To stay above yourself. You heard? So welcome to the 0 zone, man. Welcome to the 0 zone. You know? 0 zone is the realm of nous. You hear me? And in the realm of nous, or in the realm of spirit, you know, you don't have your way. You don't have your way with it. It have its way with you, and for you to have your way, you gotta flow with it. You heard? You gotta flow with it. Some call it the zone. Some call it many things. But you're gonna have to figure out, you know, what it is for you, and how it operates in you. You see, and how it operate as you. And until we do it again, I'm known as Sawu. Be you how you be you. If you ain't hit the like button by now, hit that like button. You know what to do. You feel me? Share the video. Comment if you got one. If I spark the nerve, you know, put it in the comment section. You know, you got a question, ask it. If something I said provoke a question, you can ask it. You feel me? Yeah, y'all know what it is, man. It's love, man. It's love. You know, and if you keep love in your life, man, you ain't got to worry about, you know, if you be love in your life, cause it's a high frequency. You see, you ain't got to worry about all that other bullshit. You hear me? Let love be your spell work, and you ain't gotta do none, and you damn sure ain't gotta worry about none. Message. I love y'all. My name is Sabu. Be you how you be you. Peace.